Victoria's back with us, and Rizwan Malik joins us now. Good to see you, Rizwan. Let's talk about selling your home. You're selling your home quickly and for the best price, you got to stage it. So staging highlights your home's potential, making a lasting first impression on buyers. They walk in and they're like, "Ooh, I could see myself living here," right? So we want to talk a little bit about how to stage like a pro. I, mark my words, am never selling my house, but because where would I go? But I think it's good to know, because you never know what's going to happen later in life if you're downsizing, or if you decide that you need to, you know, move to a different place or what have you for work. Rizwan, why is staging important?
Well, Tracy, staging removes the guesswork for people, right? It like that ambiguity that, like, you know, if you go into an awkward shaped room, or if it's like a small bedroom, especially downtown, like Toronto, like condominiums, like space is a premium. And you've got buyers or potential buyers standing in the room thinking, do I get a king size bed in here? Do I get a queen size bed? Do I get one night stand? Or am I blessed to get two? Right? It's like, you know, how is this all gonna play out? And it takes away that guesswork. Now they're standing in that room, they see an appropriate size bed, they see two appropriate size, like, you know, nightstands if they're lucky enough. And instead of wondering, does the furniture fit? Now they're wondering, do we fit? Do we fit in this home? And that's where you want them to be.
Okay, and just for folks that are watching across the country, you're going to run into these situations in any of the big cities in Canada. It's going to be the same in Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary. You're going to be dealing with these issues and seeing these odd-shaped spaces everywhere you go.
Absolutely. And also the other thing is, like, not just small spaces. If it's like a really large space, how do you fill that? Right? You just don't need like a bed in the middle of a room, and then you have, like, you know, you have, like, you know, ample like, you know, space all around. Too much space. It just looks empty.
Talk to me, Victoria, about staging from a design perspective. What do we need to be thinking about?
I mean, I think it's so important. I think it's important to maximize every square foot, whatever size condo or house that you live in. So there's so many little tips, and I would say, as you're staging, I don't think that it should look like a sterile space, like with just the sofa, just the coffee table, and that's it. I really feel like it should feel lived in to a certain extent by adding those accessories, adding the styling on the coffee table like we just spoke about. You kind of want it to look like a really trendy, cool,
like someone lives there, exactly. And but also you take away the personal things, like photographs of your children, your own photographs. Because sometimes,
are you telling me I should take away my photos of my dog?
Well, you're not. You're not selling your home, so it's okay. But when we do,
who doesn't want to see Ozzy? Like, come on.
No, and also, Tracy, what also happens is sometimes when you have photographs, let's just say, like, you know, you've got like pictures of your kids and everything else. It also gives away your motivation. Like, you know, like people will go into a condominium. And I see this and I hear this all the time. We'll go into a condominium and then we'll see, you know, maybe there's a crib or whatever, but then also they'll say, oh, their kids growing up, so they need to move. They need a backyard. They need a larger space. So they're motivated to sell, or maybe they've already purchased. So it gives away, it shows your hand.
And it hinders them visualizing themselves there. I think that's the big takeaway point, is that if you have photos of other people hanging in the home, they can't visualize themselves living there.
That's right. And you say you'll even go so far as to hang like a beautiful luxury robe in the washroom. Like, you're really selling the lifestyle.
Exactly. Lifestyle is the perfect, like, I think in the bathroom, if you have a nice fresh stack of white towels, the robe on the back, maybe one singular soap, they don't need to see all your products. All the labels, all of a sudden everything feels chaotic. So put those things away and go minimal with your staging overall.
Talk to me about price. Because I remember our realtor did the staging for us. That doesn't always happen. So how much is it going to cost to get it staged and get it staged properly?
Generally, it's $5 to $8 a square foot. Generally. So it's definitely an investment.
For sure. And like at that price, like, you obviously want to identify what are the key areas that will get us the biggest bang for our buck. Like, you're not going to stage a bathroom. You'll accessorize it. Like, you know, like Victoria's saying, like, you do a stack of towels for some nice soap or whatever. But also, like, you probably, when you put staging stuff down, how many people go and use it, right? Like, you go and, like, half the soap bottle's empty and you're like, this is staging, that's a prop. Like,
you can't use the props.
You can't use the props. But you also, like, and if you're living in that home, you have to understand that, like, these, like, the homeowners are still going to come home and sit on that couch to watch TV. They're still going to come home and, like, use it for the month that the stuff is there, or however long it takes them to sell the home. So, you know, it still has to be comfortable.
I've seen staging jobs that are so good that the people don't want to move anymore.
Totally.
They're like, why didn't we just get this staged
Yeah.
and then live here?
All the time.
Because
you're
it's so
editing back
beautiful.
and you're taking your time with the
Yes.
space.
Oh,
Totally.
For sure. And also, it's like at the last minute, that is when we all do everything.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll do a fresh lick of paint on the walls. Like we'll get like, you know, the little bathroom reno done, or like, you know, get new appliances. And they're like, we've lived here like this forever, and now we're doing it for someone else, and then that someone else may come in and rip everything out,
Totally.
right? So it's just
Yeah.
like
It's all part of the
You
game.
fall back in love with your home.
Vic, you've got some tips for homeowners. You say that it's really important that you can identify what each room is for.
Yeah. I think that each space should have a very specific purpose.
Okay.
So if you have a guest bedroom that's also functioning as a closet and a storage space, you have to remove all that clutter and make it function just as a guest room.
Right.
That being said, I would also take into consideration who your buyers are.
Okay.
So if, let's say your buyers are all people who have families and young children, then maybe that front room that's empty should be staged as a playroom
Right.
or something that's more
Yeah,
conducive
or like a
to
nursery
kids.
or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
if you've got like a one-bedroom plus den downtown, you're not necessarily putting in a crib in the den, because it's like it's
Right.
out of place. It's out of, like, it's not, you know, coming out of COVID, even during COVID, and especially coming out now, work from home. Like, everyone loves this.
Yeah.
So we're seeing that home office, like that extra bedroom or that den space, just being either an exercise room or a combo. It's like
Yeah.
part exercise, you've got like, you know, a stationary bike or something, or
Yeah.
like whatever, and then the other half is, you know, a desk. So,
Yeah.
you know, it just
Home
show
office.
people, yeah, it just can't be cluttered.
In terms of decor, Vic, you're saying add mirrors.
Yes.
What does that do?
Mirrors is such a good trick to make a space feel lighter and brighter, which is such a
it.
great
Larger.
and larger. Yeah,
Bigger.
such a
Yeah.
great. So this is my condo. It was a smaller condo,
Yeah.
but instead of hanging art over the sofa, I hung a ton of mirrors, and it all of a sudden
it.
created that depth, which actually made a space feel so much bigger than it actually was.
Just don't walk into
Beautiful.
them.
yes.
There are so many ways that you can stage and make it look top notch. So thank you so much for the tips. We're trying to get you as much money as